Diet plays a crucial role in maintaining overall health and preventing chronic diseases. While there is an abundance of healthy foods that support wellness, certain foods can be detrimental to health when consumed in excess. In this comprehensive video, we will explore 7 foods to avoid, delving into scientific evidence that highlights their potential negative impacts. Let's get started on the path to a healthier you. Please subscribe, like, and comments. Each section will include detailed explanations, research findings, and practical advice for making healthier choices. 1. Sugar-sweetened beverages. Sugar-sweetened beverages, SSBs, include sodas, fruit drinks, energy drinks, and sweetened teas. These drinks are high in added sugars, primarily in the form of sucrose or high-fructose corn syrup. Health impacts. 1. Obesity. SSBs are a significant contributor to obesity. Studies show that consuming SSBs leads to weight gain due to their high caloric content and low satiety compared to solid foods. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine indicated that regular consumption of sugary drinks is associated with increased body weight and a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. 2. Type 2 diabetes. A meta-analysis in Diabetes Care found that individuals consuming 1 to 2 servings of SSBs per day had a 26% greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who consumed less than 1 serving per month. 3. Cardiovascular disease. SSBs can increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. The Circulation Journal highlighted that higher intake of SSBs was associated with a higher incidence of coronary heart disease and stroke. 4. Dental health. The sugar in SSBs promotes the growth of harmful bacteria in the mouth, leading to tooth decay and cavities. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Water. The best alternative, hydrating and free of calories. 2. Unsweetened teas. Offer flavor without added sugars. 3. Diluted fruit juices. Mix with water to reduce sugar content. 2. Avoid processed meats. Processed meats include sausages, bacon, ham, and deli meats that have been preserved through smoking, curing, salting, or the addition of chemical preservatives. Health impacts. 1. Cancer. The World Health Organization, WHO, classifies processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, indicating sufficient evidence that they cause colorectal cancer. A study in The Lancet Oncology found that consuming 50 grams of processed meat daily increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. 2. Cardiovascular disease. Processed meats are high in saturated fats and sodium, both of which are linked to increased risk of heart disease. A meta-analysis in Circulation found that each 50-gram serving of processed meat per day was associated with a 42% higher risk of heart disease. 3. Diabetes. Processed meats are associated with a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that higher consumption of processed meats was linked to a greater risk of developing diabetes. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Lean meats. Choose fresh, unprocessed meats. 2. Plant-based proteins. Incorporate beans, lentils, tofu, and tempeh. Avoid refined grains. Refined grains such as white bread, white rice, and pastries have been milled to remove the bran and germ, stripping away dietary fiber, iron, and many B vitamins. Health impacts. 1. Blood sugar spikes. Refined grains have a high glycemic index, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, which can lead to insulin resistance over time. 2. Weight gain. High intake of refined grains is linked to weight gain and increased body fat. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that refined grains contribute to abdominal fat accumulation. 3. Chronic diseases. Diets high in refined grains are associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Whole grains. Opt for whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat bread. 2. Fiber-rich foods. Include a variety of fruits, vegetables, and legumes. 4. Avoid trans fats. Trans fats are artificially created through hydrogenation, which solidifies liquid oils. Common sources include margarine, baked goods, and fried foods. Health impacts. 1. Heart disease. Trans fats are strongly linked to an increased risk of heart disease. They raise LDL, bad cholesterol levels, and lower HDL, good cholesterol levels. The New England Journal of Medicine found that a 2% increase in energy intake from trans fats is associated with a 23% increase in cardiovascular risk. 2. Inflammation. Trans fats contribute to systemic inflammation, a risk factor for various chronic diseases. Studies have shown that trans fats increase inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP. 3. Insulin resistance. Consumption of trans fats can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Healthy fats. Choose unsaturated fats found in olive oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. 2. Natural sources. Opt for natural sources of fats such as fatty fish and flax seeds. 5. Avoid ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are industrial formulations with little or no whole foods. They include snacks, prepackaged meals, and sugary cereals. Health impacts. 1. Nutrient deficiency. These foods are often high in calories but low in essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and fiber. 2. Obesity. Ultra-processed foods contribute to weight gain due to their high energy density and low satiety. A study in Cell Metabolism found that diets high in ultra-processed foods led to increased calorie intake and weight gain. 3. Chronic diseases. High consumption of ultra-processed foods is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Whole foods. Focus on minimally processed foods like fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. 2. Home cooking. Prepare meals at home using fresh ingredients to control quality and nutrient content. 6. Avoid high-sodium foods. High-sodium foods include processed snacks, canned soups, and fast foods. Excess sodium intake is a significant health concern globally. Health impacts. 1. Hypertension. High sodium intake is a major cause of high blood pressure, a leading risk factor for heart disease and stroke. The American Heart Association recommends limiting sodium intake to reduce the risk of hypertension. 2. Cardiovascular disease. Excess sodium is linked to an increased risk of heart failure, stroke, and coronary heart disease. Studies show that reducing sodium intake can lower blood pressure and reduce cardiovascular risk. 3. Kidney disease. High sodium can lead to kidney damage and increase the risk of chronic kidney disease. The Journal of Clinical Hypertension highlights the negative impact of high sodium on kidney function. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Low sodium options. Choose low sodium versions of processed foods. 2. Herbs and spices. Use herbs and spices to flavor food instead of salt. 7. Avoid artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin are used as sugar substitutes in various diet and sugar-free products. Health impacts. 1. Metabolic disorders. Some studies suggest that artificial sweeteners can disrupt metabolic processes and lead to glucose intolerance. Research in Nature indicated that artificial sweeteners might alter gut microbiota and induce metabolic changes. 2. Weight gain. Contrary to their intended purpose, some research suggests that artificial sweeteners may contribute to weight gain and increased appetite. A study in Trends in Endocrinology and Metabolism reviewed evidence linking artificial sweeteners to weight gain and obesity. 3. Gut health. Artificial sweeteners may negatively affect gut health by altering the composition and function of the gut microbiota. Alternatives and recommendations. 1. Natural sweeteners. Use natural sweeteners like honey, maple syrup, or stevia in moderation. 2. Whole fruits. Use whole fruits to naturally sweeten foods and beverages. Making informed dietary choices is crucial for maintaining health and preventing chronic diseases. Avoiding or limiting the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages, processed meats, refined grains, trans fats, ultra-processed foods, high-sodium foods, and artificial sweeteners can significantly benefit overall health. Opting for whole, minimally processed foods and maintaining a balanced diet. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every week and you don't want to miss out. Plus, if you subscribe now, you'll be the first to know when I release new content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.